So the topic that we're going to be covering, not just this chapter, but this entire module, so the next several chapters, is word patterns. So up until this point, we've studied sentences, right? And we've studied fragments, which deal with the way words come together.
Right.
Right? But we haven't gone in depth and looked at the actual words themselves and studied them. Right? We did study actions. Right?
Yeah, like
which was a
past, present, command,
right?
forgetting.
Which was kind of the word level of things, right? We stopped and we studied different types of actions, which are words, right? Actions are a type of word, not really dealing with how words come together. But we haven't studied nouns in depth.
Oh, right.
Right? And the different kinds of nouns.
Okay.
And so Arabic is actually famous for having words that follow specific templates or patterns.
Is it like related to root letters and stuff? You always hear that
you've
about
heard about Arabic root letters
Yeah.
and patterns and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it is related. Root letters and patterns. So Arabic is famous for that. And so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be studying some of the most common patterns in Arabic.
Sounds
right?
kind of cool
The most
and
common-
mysterious.
It is cool. Let's lift the veil of mystery. So the reason we study word patterns, right? Two main benefits. First is it expands your vocab base.
How so?
Right. So for example, in English, say you know the word to oppress,
Mm-hmm.
and then based on that, you know what oppressor means.
Right.
You know what oppressed means.
Uh-huh.
You know what oppressive means.
Uh-huh.
Right. So from one word, you kind of spawn a whole bunch of other words.
Right.
Right. That's kind of the idea behind word patterns in Arabic. You know, like one base word or one,
Base action kind of like
yeah,
to
base.
oppress.
Yeah, and then from that you can derive a bunch of different kinds of words.
Oh.
Right? So
okay.
it helps expand your vocab base without having to memorize every single unique word.
Oh, that's cool.
It is cool. And then the other thing is it helps you recognize certain grammatical structures that use these word patterns.
What do you mean?
We'll learn the grammar structures when we get there, but some grammar structures specifically involve certain kinds of word patterns, and you have to be able to recognize that word pattern in order to recognize the grammatical structure.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at an example, starting with English, because that's relatable. Here we have the word to write, which is what kind of word?
An action.
It's an action, right? If we add an ER to that, we say writer. What does that produce? A writer is
Someone who writes.
someone who writes, right?
Uh-huh.
We have to sing, which is an action. We add an ER to that. We end up with singer, which is
Someone who sings.
someone who sings, right? To teach is an action. We add an ER to that. A teacher is someone who
teaches.
teaches, right? And then we have to bake, which is an action. We add ER to that. And then we end up with baker, which is
Someone who bakes.
someone who bakes, right? So based on this, we know that in English, when you add ER to the end of a word, you end up with the meaning of someone who does something, right? And this is actually the first word type that we're going to be studying, and we're calling it the agent, right? Because an agent is someone who does something,
Okay, gotcha.
right? And this is kind of how word patterns work in Arabic as well, right? You see a set pattern, right? Like the ER, and then that produces a specific kind of meaning.
I have a question about the ER thing.
Right.
So all of these have ER at the end.
Uh-huh.
But for example, something like someone who studies grammar is a grammarian,
Right,
not
a
a grammar studier.
Right. A grammarian.
Or someone who studies linguistics is a linguist, not
uh-huh.
a linguister or
Right.
whatever. So, like, yeah, the ER works sometimes,
Uh-huh.
but other times, like, you can't always just add the ER.
Right.
Is it like that in Arabic? Do you have, like, the base form and, like, a bunch of
Different
irregulars?
kinds of No, actually, that's the cool thing about Arabic. It's very scientific. And when you have a pattern, it always works.
Okay. Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So the first word type, what we're going to be studying, like we said, is called the agent. And the agent is the word pattern with the meaning of someone who does something. And then there are two patterns that the agent follows, so we'll be studying them one by one.
All right.
Sound good?
Mm-hmm.